Welcome to part 2 of the sushi party, making sushi for 10 people. If you didn't see the first part, the link is up here. You can see the first half, but hope you enjoy the second. We did a couple of different rolls and did some other kind of stuff, so hope you enjoy. Thanks. Now we're gonna make one of my favorite rolls, my customer's favorite rolls too. It's called a baked scallop California roll, BSCR roll. We used to call it the halama roll in my restaurant, but basically what it is a California roll. If you all are familiar with that, is cucumber, avocado, and imitation crab meat. And then I'm gonna put some scallops, chopped up scallops on top that are mixed with a little bit of mayonnaise, a little bit of spice, and a little bit of fish egg. So first, we're just gonna make California rolls. So I'm gonna make 2 at a time because I wanna make 2 of these rolls at once for my oven. And we're gonna actually stick these into the broiler after I get them done. I'm just making sure my rice is all covered, or my seaweed, excuse me, is all covered. We're gonna put a little bit of sesame seed. This is gonna be a reverse roll as well. So we're gonna do cucumber. You wanna try to make your ingredients as even as possible. So if there's a lot of cucumber on here, you need to even it up. Same with the avocado. You don't want a kind of uneven roll. So we're gonna try to even it up as much as possible. I only need 2 on that one. And this is the stick kind of imitation crab. It kind of looks like a crab leg, but it still is imitation crab. So we're gonna actually put one of those inside here on each side. And then we're just gonna roll like we did before. And then when I got 2 rolls, I put them end to end. It's a little quicker for me. And don't worry about that sticking on the end. We'll go ahead and cut that out. And then we'll go ahead and press those, and then we'll go ahead and we're going to go ahead and cut that end off because we don't want it sticking out. Okay, and then we're going to cut it just like we did. We cut it in half first, then the half we cut in half, and then those we cut in half. So it kind of gives us an even cut. So they're all about exactly the same size. Okay, always wipe your sushi knife off. That way when you go to cut the next one, there's no dried rice on there to kind of mess up your cut. You will need a broiler for this roll. So right now we do have the broiler on. See that? I'm going to go ahead and grab some tin foil, and I kind of like make a little holding area for them like this. Now because it's going into a hot broiler and I don't want them to stick the tinfoil, I am going to squirt a little olive oil. Don't worry, it won't hurt. It'll actually crisp up the rice on the bottom. So we're going to wet our hands to make sure the rice don't stick to them. We're going to put these rolls here. This is a scallop mixture I made earlier. It's just raw scallops chopped up. It's got a little bit of mayonnaise, a little bit of hot sauce inside. And some fish eggs, some actually flying fish eggs. But this is going to get a double dose of fish eggs because I also have a different type of fish egg I want to put on top of it. You don't want to mound it up too high, just enough for it to cover the rolls because you don't want to keep the ones on the bottom from cooking. If they're a little raw, that's okay. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking to cook them all the way through because you'd be in the oven for quite a while. And this is a Japanese product we call mentaiko. It's actually a spicy caviar. So it comes from the pollock, which so I'm going to put a little dollop of this on each roll. And like I said, this is how it comes. So this is how you buy it. I'm just going to put a dollop of these spicy fish eggs on each one. And then we're going to top it with a little bit of spicy mayo. And there you go. And then we're gonna go ahead and stick these in the broiler. Broil them for, I don't know, about 10 minutes. You just want color on the top and the scallops to have a little bit of color. So we're gonna throw those in there for about 10 minutes. And we'll pull them out, and then we have some more dressings that need to go on top once they come out. It's been about 10 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and pull these things out. And that's exactly what you're looking for. Nice golden brown color on top. The scallops are cooked. Rice is a little bit crispy around the edges. That's exactly what we're looking for. So the reason I put those pieces are that little bit of spray of oil on there is because these things are a bear to get off. But see, even with that little bit of oil, you got to kind of loosen the edges, and then you can just slide it right off. Some of them may break, but it's okay. Now I got them plated, so we're going to take a little bit of eel sauce. This is some that Bob made, but you can actually buy this most of the grocery stores. It's actually called sushi sauce, and this company makes it, so it's kind of similar. It's eel sauce or unagi sauce, whatever you want to call it, but we already have some of Bob's homemade stuff, so we're gonna hit it right here. We don't want a lot, we're just gonna enough to give it a little bit of flavor. And we're gonna top it with a little bit of green onion to finish it off. The BSCR roll, the Baked Scallop California roll. Easy to do once you get the rolls mastered, because sushi rolls, they're all pretty much the same. The only thing that changes is the ingredients. There are some different techniques we'll get into later, different kinds of rolls, but today we're just doing Maki Sushi, which is rolled by hand. So.
Nice. So just take it outside?
Yeah, if you want. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I have a piece of albacore here that I previously seared. And how we sear it, once we trim it up and everything, we use one of these Japanese blow torches. I mean, you can get them this is an Iwatani brand, but you can buy them just about everywhere, any kind of like chef's shop, and it just creates a high flame, and then you just sear the outside. I don't know if you can see that, but it sears the outside really good. And there's two purposes why we sear the outside of albacore. Because albacore is a really fishy fish, so searing does two things. It gets rid of the fishy smell, because albacore is inherently fishy, and it also adds it, well, actually it does three things. It adds texture, a different texture, but then it also holds it together when I slice it, and you'll see what I mean once I start getting into it sashimi style. So if you can see the grain of the fish, we always slice against the grain. So the reason we do that is because we want no chewiness to it. We want it our teeth to go through it really easy. If I were to cut it this way, it's kind of with the grain, right? If I cut it this way, it's still with the grain. So what we have to do is we have to cut it this way. And that makes the grain, or the sinew, really small. So we start at the heel of the knife, and we go back, okay? All the way down. Okay. And some of it will kind of, albacore is a really soft fish, so sometimes you got to work at it. See, it'll kind of come apart a little bit, but that's okay, because that's albacore for you. Sometimes I push down at the very end just to make sure that I sever the bottom part of it. And you can see it's really oily. So albacore is a really oily fish. You can barely see the grain. You can see it a little bit, but you can barely see it. That's what you're looking for when you're doing your sashimi. Always against the grain to make the sinew part the smallest as possible. We're going to put a little bit of pressure here, and we're going to pick up about half of it, maybe a little bit more than half, and we're going to present it on our plate. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I want the maximum amount of sauce to stay on top of the fish. If you do it the other way, the sauce will kind of run off, and I don't want that. I want the sauce to stay on there as much as possible. So we're going to actually throw some green onion on here, because green onion and albacore go really well together. Be liberal with onion. We're going to use a little bit of Bob's ponzu sauce. And we're gonna be liberal with it, because you want that sauce to get right into the fish. We're gonna put a little bit of sesame. And then for the spiciness, we're gonna throw a little dollop of sriracha on top of each piece. And there we go, albacore sashimi. Renko style lobster.
Our guests here, they're gonna be full after round number 4. And they haven't even tapped into the good stuff yet. They have no idea. Oh, we full, we eat a lot. No, they have no idea. Rookies.
My husband is making magic, and he's filling people's bellies with good food from you and from you, the bounty of the sea, right?
That's
Salmon, sea bass. Could you ask for anything more? Do we have lobster? Yes. That wasn't from us, but it was from the sea. What else? He's just feeding people and making them feel good. And if you can do something like that on any given day, what else do you need?
So what I did is I got a couple of lobster tails here, and I coated them with a little bit of cornstarch. I didn't have egg, so I used a little bit of my mayonnaise, which has egg in it. And then I coated the outside with panko, and I'm gonna go ahead and deep fry these. These are lobster tails that I cut in half, and we're gonna go ahead and deep fry them so they're nice, crispy, golden brown. Shouldn't take long. Lobster don't take long to cook. Probably about maybe 12 minutes, somewhere in there, at about 350 degree oil. And then we're gonna let those guys cook and crisp up. Okay, my lobster tails are done. I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit. They'll continue to cook a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and throw some rolls together. These are gonna be big rolls. So I'm actually gonna use a whole sheet of seaweed. I'm not gonna use a half, I'm gonna use a whole. The difference of this one is the seaweeds are gonna be on the outside. I'm not gonna do a reverse roll. So we're not gonna cover this whole sheet with rice. We're gonna cover the rice about 3/4 of the way. We're gonna leave quite a bit exposed here at the end. I'm gonna throw some cucumber inside here. The spicy mayo. And these lobster tails are really big, so we're gonna cut them down a little bit. Look at that, perfectly cooked, still moist on the inside, opaque. You don't want them to be rubbery. You want a little bit of that moisture. If it's a little pink like that, that's perfect. Gonna throw some avocado in here. We're gonna throw a little bit of imitation crab in here as well. And a little bit of spicy fish eggs. This is the mentaiko that I put on top of the scallops. We're gonna throw those on the inside as well.
That looks like a stuffed roll.
It is. It's a big roll.
Wow. Wow, that's a big roll.
Yep, the shiny part is on the outside. And that tag in, the reason I left that tag in is so my roll would close. Okay, because the rice will stick to that part. So we're gonna do the same technique, you know, with squaring it off. We're gonna let it set for just a second. We want the seaweed and the rice to meld together, so it holds together.
Try it again.
And that's your classic roll. That's a traditional sushi roll where the seaweed is on the outside. And we actually make a roll called a futomaki, which literally in Japanese means fat roll.
Futomaki?
Futomaki. Futomaki means fat roll in Japanese. Because futo is fat. Maki is the roll. So
Futomaki?
Futomaki. Okay, and then we're gonna finish this roll off with a little bit of spicy mayo. Throw some eel sauce on here.
Ooh.
And throw some green onion. And we're gonna top it. Here we go. Lobster roll. Panko lobster roll.
I'm gonna sit outside now. I gotta go claim my seat.
I love it.
Love it. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. I mean, we did throw a little party here. It was pretty fun. You know, making sushi for my friends, that's what I really enjoy. I guess that's what a sushi chef's job is all about. But anyways, stay tuned for the next time. How'd you guys enjoy it? Awesome. There you go. And I had a good assistant tonight. Bob was definitely a good assistant, man. Yeah, freshwater Bob. We didn't eat no freshwater fish other than Neil, but Bob did a great job. So like and subscribe. That's all I can say. There's going to be more episodes. There might be a little change in my life coming up in the future. Maybe sooner than I thought. Maybe retirement. Maybe, I don't know. Early retirement. But that's up to Monica. But anyways, so stay tuned, and definitely we'll have some more episodes. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.